精英教育，点石成金。
Hello, my name is Catherine, and today I'm going to be talking about the differences that I experienced living in the two countries with the largest populations in the world, of course, India and China. And again, I'm really going to just be focusing on the social, cultural experiences that I personally experienced as an American living in these two countries. So the first difference that I want to talk about is kind of this, I don't know how else to call it. I would say talking to strangers. You know, I'm American, and in America we have a culture of talking to strangers. By talking, I don't really mean having conversations with strangers, but greeting strangers. If I see someone walking down the same street that I'm walking down, I just will always say, good morning, good afternoon, how's it going? And actually this is quite similar to India. In India, at least my experience, maybe because I'm a foreigner, I'm not sure, a lot of people, women and men and children, were very eager to talk to have conversation immediately. Do you need any help? How are you? How's it going? Where are you from? What are you doing here? And this was quite a contrast to China. In China, there isn't kind of this culture of needing to be overtly polite all of the time. So in China, it was very, strangers rarely ever spoke to me, unless I was in a tourist area and maybe they were vendors or something. But typically, like in the bus stops, in the metros, people just kind of stick to themselves. And also like shop owners and things like that. You know, in India, they were very, like even convenience stores were, you know, where are you from? How are you? Where are you going? And then in China, very different. So that was quite a stark difference between the two countries in that sense. Another big difference between the two countries that I experienced, of course, is the food. Now, you're gonna have a difference of food in every country, of course. Every country is diverse. Every country has their own cuisine. But the difference between China and India is quite stark, because although they both eat rice as a kind of a staple food, India does not commonly consume meat. So it's very difficult to be a meat eater in India. I was in South India, which has a quite large Muslim population, so I was able to find meat and things like that. But there were many times where I would go to a restaurant only to realize it was vegetarian only, which is fine. I love eating vegetarian food. Now, the complete opposite is true in China. In China, it was very hard to find vegetarian only options. I'm not a vegetarian, so I was okay with it, but I have a friend who is vegetarian, and it was really difficult to find any places that would offer dishes where no meat was involved. Even if you ordered veggies, it was typically fried with like the same oil that they, you know, cooked pork in or something, or it was pork fried vegetables or something like that. So in terms of food, I think the Indian cuisine is probably as different as it can be from Chinese cuisine, just in the sense that Indian food is mostly vegetarian and Chinese food is mostly not vegetarian. And I want to talk about one more difference between the two countries that was quite stark, and that would be style of dress. Now, I am a woman who loves shopping, and I love, when I enter a new country, I love wearing the clothes that's, you know, I like fitting in and things like that. And the style in India is very, very, very conservative. Usually the girls are dressed like their mothers and, you know, brightly colored and things like that. And in China, it's quite the opposite, a lot of darker, muted colors. Much more non-traditional, I would say, much more modern. Similar to what you see in America, but even less conservative than what I would see in my city in America. My cities in America is a bit conservative. So that was quite interesting, just seeing the different, you know, the way that people dress. Now, in India, I was in South India, in Bangalore, which is kind of a very, they call it the Silicon Valley of India. So you have some districts where people are very fashionable and very, like, into fashion, but not as much as what I noticed in China. In China, you definitely have these like fashion districts where people, especially Shanghai, where people are dressed very elaborately. They look like models. And that was much more common for me to see in China than it was in India. Again, I'm only speaking on my personal experiences. I'm sure maybe in Mumbai, India has more fashionable areas than I experienced, but okay, that's it.